Well, thanks, guys, so much with the Krase family from Winona. Willa is here, Jill's here, Ethan's here, Addie's here. Good morning, family.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How about a good morning, Willa?
Good morning.
Hero Willa, let's have a good morning. You know what we did? The first thing we did when you guys got to Gunderson Health System this morning, we sent you right down into the community room to get some bacon. Wasn't that a good idea? That was a great idea. Big Boar Barbecue brought us breakfast this morning, and that was a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, extra breakfast is good. Willa, how you feeling?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wore a very special T-shirt today. What
Yeah, I
T-shirt did you wear?
I wore my T-shirt from Camp Needlepoint.
So Children's Miracle Network hospitals, they play part of that, right?
Yeah. So at Camp Needlepoint, every single camper there has type 1 diabetes, like me, and it is just so great to have CMN support camp.
You know, your T-shirt, it doesn't
Yeah.
look like a standard T-shirt.
Oh no, I cut it and tied it so that it would fit.
It's
mostly.
beautiful. And you cut the neck out. You totally
Yeah.
did a fashion statement with that. Thanks for wearing that today. How's it going as a hero? You having fun?
Yeah, I really like it so far. I think my favorite event so far has definitely been Oktoberfest. That was
You
just
like
so
that Maple
fun.
Leaf Parade, did you?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you like the parade?
It was so fun.
You know what? We had fun having you guys on our semi, too.
We like
Yeah.
the band that was with us.
Kurt Schultes and the band, the Stays.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were so good.
Yeah, they're a great
It
band.
was
You know
great.
what they had to do? They had to rent a U-Haul to get all of their equipment over to the lacrosse center because Art Fay, he runs the lacrosse center, he let us set up with our big semi like a night or two ahead of time. So when you don't think about, what bands have to go through to be able to perform, here they had to come 2 days ahead of time with this big U-Haul to get all of their equipment. So then right before you guys joined us at the setup for the Maple Leaf Parade, John Stevenson and Gary, were you with us going over there? Eric was with us. Eric was with us. So what we did, we were at the lacrosse center, but we had to get to the north side of lacrosse. And we had to hold on to all those pumpkins from Bowers. Remember all the pumpkins that were on the float?
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
and we had two huge groups of the band's very expensive equipment covered with tarps. And so all of that is open on the back of that semi. So we were whipping from downtown to go to the north side. So the three of us were hanging
Yeah.
on to mums, pumpkins, and band equipment as we were whipping. And we had to yell into the semi driver, who was wonderful, and we had to tell him to slow down a little bit. And that's a true story. So then you guys jumped on our float. And so we had a great time too. That was one of our favorite events that we did.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Did you get tired during that event? Were you okay? How was your tummy?
It was all fine.
Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah.
sometimes with type 1 diabetes, you know what? You have to plan things out ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens first thing in the morning with you? What do you do?
Well, usually, I come downstairs and I check my blood sugar, and usually it's fine, or at least in range. And then I have to take insulin for what I eat, and that insulin turns the food I eat into energy because I couldn't make it anymore.
When you were first diagnosed, I know what weekend it was. Do you remember?
It was Halloween day.
It was
And
Halloween day. And what did you want to
I-
do?
I wanted to go trick-or-treating as a mummy, and it was going to be so much fun, but then I was in the hospital instead, and I missed Halloween. And then 5 days later, it was my birthday. So I got out of the hospital, and then the next day was my birthday. So I was
So
in there.
you had to learn how a lot in 4 days in the hospital,
Yes.
didn't you?
It was just so much information all at once.
So something new has come up in your household. Jill, is it okay if we share this?
Sure. The new thing is that 3 weeks ago, our younger daughter, Adelaide, who is 8, was also diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So now we have 2 type 1s in our house. And so there was that really peculiar, although now it's routine, moment, but when I turned around I was getting dinner ready, and I turned around and I said, "Do your sugar," which I would normally say to Willa, but then two people got their blood sugar test kits out and poked their finger and put some blood on the test strip, and beep, both meters were beeping. And
What tipped you off that you're going to go down that road again?
we could see things even as far back as 2 years ago with Adelaide, that maybe she was going to have type 1 because, for one thing, Addie has celiac disease, which is also an autoimmune disorder where the body attacks itself, basically. And so we already knew that she had that process going on. But we could just see lately that Addie, and it was the same with Willa before her diagnosis, was way thinner than she should be, and she didn't have good energy, and she didn't have good color, and she would eat food and then right away she would say, "My stomach hurts," because her sugar, her blood sugar level was going way up. So instead of the energy from the food going into the cells of her body, it was just crashing around in her bloodstream and causing her to not feel good. So we started doing her sugar, because we have test equipment around, and yeah, we could see.
Willa, what went through your head when you thought, "Uh-oh, my little sister"? What were you thinking?
Yeah, well, mostly I just didn't want her to have to go through the same thing as I did, because when I went through all of it, we were completely in the dark. Like, we had pretty much no idea what was going on. And then I just wanted to help her as much as I could because I knew exactly what she was going through. And
Actually,
so,
before Addie even knew she had type 1, the three of us knew.
we know.
Because we had told her, but she hadn't quite taken it in yet. And so Willa came into Addie's room at night and said, "Oh, good night, Addie. I hope you have a good sleep." And Addie looked at me and she said, "Why is Willa being so nice? What's wrong? What's going on?"
Addie, Ethan, can you pass the mic over to Addie? How old are you, Addie?
8.
Okay. How are you feeling?
Good.
How'd you take the new news?
Well, I was sad and not happy.
Who's your doctor?
Dr. Katie.
Dr. Katie. And she's taking care of Willa. Now she's taking care of you. What's changed? What's different with your day now?
I have to have a shot every time I eat.
How does that go?
Good, because I can already do my shot by myself.
Did you have to learn how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can give it to yourself? Okay. What else is going on?
I have to check my blood sugar every time I eat.
Okay. Does that hurt?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you told your friends? Are you okay talking about it with your friends about what's going on?
Yeah. Whenever they come over and we're gonna eat something, and I'm like, okay, I need to test my blood sugar and give myself a shot, and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And so I just
Yeah.
give them the shortest answer.
Well, of
to
course.
why.
Yeah, but
Coral didn't believe you. Addie's one friend, Coral, didn't believe her. Addie said, "Coral, I have type 1 diabetes too." And Coral said, "No, you don't. Your sister does."
Yeah, so do I.
too. The level of care that the girls have, confident with that?
Oh my gosh, yes. Such good care here at Gunderson. Yeah, we're so thankful.
Children's Miracle Network stepped in to help Willa. How did that start?
Well, even from when we were in the hospital, well, I'll let Ethan speak to that because he was the one who spent the nights at the hospital too.
What do you remember, Dad?
I remember the meal vouchers. I remember the nurse giving us some meal vouchers, and I was confused. I thought, well, we don't need these. We're just, I had my wallet, of course, but they said, no. CMN is here, and it's like a safety net, right under us. So they, helped us while we were in the hospital with meal vouchers, and then I can remember early on, maybe only a week or two later, hearing about camp, and our educator at the time said, CMN will pay for Willa to go to this fantastic camp where for a week
It's
she
so
can
great.
be
I love it.
just like every other kid. So when we were kind of floored, and we first thought there must be, I'm sure there are other people who have greater need, but CMN was just adamant. They said like, this is what we're for, is to help families like yours and kids like yours.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to ask for those phones to ring. Does that sound like a good thing to do? I think it does. Let's get some more pledges in here. We have the Miss America organization. Let's hear a little noise, ladies. I knew they could do that. So it's 781-1477 is our phone number, or 1-800-853-6889. We already have a call. We didn't even ask for calls yet, and we already have a call coming in. You guys are a popular family. 781-1477. So when you go to school, do you take a special lunch?
I don't take a special lunch, but I always pack from home because we don't know what the carbs are going to be on the lunch at school.
You have to learn to count carbs.
Yeah, I did.
Is that just now? Does it come a little
Now it's
easier?
just-
Now you know.
Yeah, like it is so easy now.
Did you know what a
to count
carb
them.
was?
No, I had no
'Kay.
idea of
'Kay.
anything. I remember coming home from school that day and just feeling more awful than I had. And Mom said, "I hope you don't have type 1 diabetes." And I just remember saying, "What's type 1 diabetes?" I had no idea.
Did you have a premonition, or did you recognize?
Well, she was a 9-year-old girl and would fill up a pint glass with water and drink the whole thing. And we would just watch her like, that is really weird. And then it would be empty and she would fill it up again. And we knew a couple things about type 1 diabetes, just that they're really thirsty and really hungry too. Like,
The hunger was amazing.
was
Yeah.
really incredible to see.
Yeah.
What were the amounts? What
Willa,
would she
my
sit down?
gosh.
Willa, I remember one time we were in the grocery store and we picked a sandwich up, like a pre-made sandwich that she ate while she was in the store, and we just paid for the empty wrapper, and then she came home and was ready for dinner.
She would eat more than Ethan.
Yeah, she could eat. She was eating like a linebacker, just a ton of food.
She would look over at her sister's plate, like this is so crossing the sibling line. She would look over at Addie's plate and say, "Are you done with that? I'll eat that." It was terrifying.
And
like, you want your sister's
because-
corn? Something must be wrong.
Because basically, I wasn't getting energy from my food.
So you felt sluggish, tired, fatigued.
Sluggish, tired. Yeah, I just felt so tired. Like I didn't have any motivation to move, much less just be active. I just wanted to eat because I was so hungry. And I just had, like, imagine how you would feel if you didn't eat for like months. And that is exactly how I felt. Like, it was terrible.
Addie, did you feel like that too? Were you super, super hungry?
No, because we caught it really early.
'Kay.
So, like, I didn't even have to go to the hospital, which was awesome. And
You didn't want to spend nights in the hospital.
no, that's not fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because we knew what it was. Like, we saw the signs as soon as she started getting it, because I already had it.
Do you have a
So-
pump?
Yeah, I do.
Do you wear it all the time?
Yeah, it's right.
It's right there?
Yeah, I have it in this little pouch, and then it just through this tube, it just gives me insulin, and then it turns the food I eat into energy, and it is just so helpful. Like, I love the pump. Sometimes, although, like, in the summer when I go swimming, it does get in the way a little bit.
Do you,
So
you wear it all the time?
it's not waterproof.
Okay.
It's very not waterproof.
Has there been occasions where water has been introduced to the pump?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
one big
something
one.
happened?
We were on vacation
Uh-huh.
and I got in the pool with my pump on and it was terrible. So I jumped out and I was like freaking out and oh my gosh.
She had the pump in the little belt with her swimsuit on, because we had just been up, we had just been eating, and you forget. she's just used to having the thing always on her. So she got
Yeah.
in the pool, and then she came flying out of the pool, saying, "My pump, my pump."
So we like wrapped it in towels, and we were like, oh my god. And then
Yeah,
It-
we
it
could try to
looked-
dry off this, $8,000 machine
yeah,
with a towel.
it looked fine. We were like, it's all gonna be fine. So we called Medtronic, and they said, yeah, you need to discontinue use immediately. And they were like, we're gonna ship you a new one.
But the next day, the UPS truck drove right up past the pool, and gave us a new pump. And yeah, so Medtronic is great too.
Speaking of UPS, we had them on our phone bank yesterday for 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh is right. It was wonderful. You never know how many businesses and families and communities are really connected until, there's an event like this, like Radiothon. What has impressed you the most? Have you met a lot of new friends?
Yeah, all the other heroes are just so great.
You told me that you were listening to Iris's story yesterday.
Yeah, I was. She did really good.
Yeah, she did good.
Yeah, she did good.
You'll have to tell her that.
I will.
And you know what? She drove here. She has her permit now.
I heard
know.
that. That is so
It was big
cool.
news. It was huge news. 781-1477. Now, don't you worry a bit because these phones will be ringing. We're going to be here until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Can't thank you enough for making the trip in. Addie, it's good to see you. You keep up the good work. I know there's going to be some new things coming up in your life. You can handle it, can't you?
Yeah.
You have a good support system going on here. Yeah, and you have a good big sister to look up to. Well, look, great to see you. Thanks for being a
Thank you so
great
much.
hero. You really are. Let's hear it for this family. All right. 781-1477. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Radio Group.